So Israel Arsbender Adesanya and his fat retarded brother decided to go full racist on Dricus du Plessis the other night on one of his live streams.
I tried to set up some things, but
apartheid.
I'm retarded?
And as predicted, the MMA media will not cover this story, and they are protected because they are black. So this all comes in the back of Dricus du Plessis saying that he wants to be the first African champion to work, live and train in Africa and bring the belt back there. Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, Francis Ngannou, they all live in America, New Zealand, and they're bringing their belts back there. So by default, they're not actually African champions. And given the fact that none of them have lived in Africa ever. But as predicted, the likes of Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya are taking massive offense to this, and they're being exposed completely with the hypocrisy that they're thrown left, right and center. So basically the MMA media are no different to the mainstream media in terms of fueling the culture war. And that's exactly what we have a result of here with Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman being two entitled fucks who think that everything should be bestowed upon them because of the color of their skin. And that's what they've made this issue between Dricus du Plessis and themselves. It's about the color of the skin. Be in no doubt that this is not about thinking that you're more African than me or thinking that I'm more American than you, because if you watch MMA Guru's videos recently, he totally and utterly unearthed all the hypocrisy from Usman and Adesanya, but he didn't put the nail directly into the coffin in terms of what this is really about. And I can understand why, because you will get banned off YouTube and Twitter and any mainstream outlet, but I'm going to take a chance and say it myself. They are making this about the color of their skin.
I've never questioned him as an African, but who the fuck is this cracker to tell me who the fuck I am?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Nothing else. And you have the likes of shills like Ariel Helwani that's propagating this and pushing this idea of whites versus blacks, because that's exactly what he tried to do on his podcast when he was talking to Dricus du Plessis, when he absolutely and utterly harassed him for no reason whatsoever. But we know this, and it's forbidden, and we're not allowed to talk about it. We see with the likes of Israel Adesanya that he's been indoctrinated. He's running around with nail varnish on. He's running around talking about Pokemons and Dragon Ball Z and all this type of trash.
You ever heard about an anime called Death Note? Anyone? Hands up.
But we also can see that the liberal progressive mindset has infected him and Kamaru Usman. So with these guys, we're left with this kind of virtue signaling progressive behavior that is inbred into them. And they think that whites have to be blamed for all black people's problems. And this is propagated by the media and the shill media too. And if you watch Guru's video where he tells Dricus du Plessis, if he's watching, to tread lightly, because you know that the media, the full force of the mainstream, will come down on you if you open your mouth and even make the wrong peep towards these type of fighters. And what we're left with is the majority of people that watch this sport, that partake in this sport, and just in general, having to bow down and bend the knee for some imaginary racism. That's basically what we're left with. Something that has absolutely nothing to do with us, that happened 150 years plus ago. And if you really want to go down the lines of reading historical events from Africa or South Africa, then there's a different picture to be painted altogether, but we can't get into that here. And this is what has turned me off of the UFC and MMA in general, because I have a lot of people in my inbox asking me, where have you gone? Where's the content? We actually liked watching your stuff. Believe it or not, people actually liked watching what I was saying. And to be honest with you, after seeing how the UFC bent the knee in terms of the flag bearing, Russia are engaged in a conflict with Ukraine, absolutely nothing got to do with someone from Tennessee or Arkansas, but we're not allowed to bring our American flags because just in case some Russian person wants to bring his flag, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to upset the legacy media, because you know that everything has to be anti-Russian now. So that, along with the fact of absolute and utter terrible judging decisions, promoting the absolute and utter vilest of fighters. We saw the Paddy Pimblett getting beat, getting his ass whooped by Jared Gordon, and of course he wins a decision. It's infuriating to watch. It's infuriating to watch. The idea of this channel was to point out these hypocrisies. I took a little break after the Jared Gordon win, but now I'm back. And I want to point out that Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman are making this a racial thing because they know that their backs are being covered by the shill media who will not touch this. I've seen this across the board on Twitter with all the mainstream MMA outlets covering this particular incident where Israel Adesanya really goes after Dricus du Plessis. He had some harsh words for Dricus du Plessis. No, you fuck. You racially attacked him. He said some words that we're not even allowed to say, and I'm one of them people. I'm not even allowed to use that word.
But the fact that as a fucking cracker, but who the fuck is this cracker to tell me who the fuck I am? Are you dumb? Cracker. As a product of colonization. But who the fuck is this cracker?
But he can say it. He can say it. He's protected. He's one of the protected classes. And he knows it. But you know what? He's been called out by Guru this week. And he's been called out by me for whatever it's worth. So Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, get fucked.